In the time before the Titans, before the gods of Olympus, a great battle was waged.
Hello there, Servum17 once again. This is my God of War Ascension Titan difficulty video walkthrough. This is the second part to the Python's Belly, although I think this is called something different. We entered this grotto and it said something like Ice Cavern, so I believe that this is probably that section of the game, but I've got it categorized as this, because if you watched the first video I mentioned that mine are slightly off with the naming convention due to what I used. Fucking idiot. But I'm committing to it, so why not? And if you're wondering what I used for the names of the chapters, I used the GameFAQs walkthrough that is the only one on the site at this moment in time. So unfortunately, I trusted his professionalism to help my professionalism, and thus we both look like idiots. But this is a little bit more slidey F-Zero X style action. It's all very simple. If you haven't done it before, you might die a few times, because the quick times on this game are kind of Korean. Because I haven't mentioned it because I didn't want to mention it, because it really pisses me off. But why did they change where the fucking buttons were? I hate it. Still to this day. God of War 3 is the worst game ever made for doing it. And I don't get it at all. On God of War 1 and 2, when you're doing something to an enemy, the button is next to the enemy. You're staring at you, you're watching for the button, it's there. They all appear there, it's simple. On this game, they're on the borders of the screen, and they just blend in. Because the camera's moving all fast, and you're trying to relax your eyes so you can see it all, and it's just bullshit. And I know why they've done it, because, you know, when it's on the right, it's always the right one on the pad, it's always circle. When it's on the left, it's always square. When it's up, it's always triangle. It makes sense from like a fucking, you know, just baby level. It's like, you know, the square block in the square hole. It does make sense, but in delivery, I just hate it. I absolutely hate it. And the amount of times when I'll be sat watching the game and I'll not notice because I'm not fucking, you know, looking all around my 42-inch television that I sit far too close to, it's just bad. It's really bad. And I'm surprised no one's complained about it. I seem to be the only person that doesn't like it. Oh, right here, all I'm doing is blocking guys, and you'll notice the guy with the big hammer is knocking his buddies off, and I'm getting points for it. So simple. A lot of people might think that this is cheap and cowardly, but, you know, when a game pulls a camera out so far I can't even see my damn character, I don't really care. Because I'm all for spectacle, I'm all for really creative and innovative things that the camera does, because I come from a film background, and I do think that this game has some fantastic cinematography at times, but, you know, when it matters, when I can actually take damage, let me see my fucking character, please. It's not hard. It's really not hard. You managed to do it before, but this whole, you know, gotta look so scaly, make it look like everything's mountain-sized, is this obsessive design ideal. But another speedway. I did think that these sections were going to have more obstacles, but as it stands, they're just like a walking section, only you're doing it on your ass. Here we are back on the snakes, which remind me of two things. The first one is Conan, because James Earl Jones turns into a big nasty one. He also poisons Conan's girlfriend with that stupid snake arrow. I always hated that bit when I was younger. And it also reminds me of Snake Way from Dragon Ball Z. But now that we've powered this up, we're going to be making our way back to the altar, and we're going to be fighting another boss. God, I love that song. Oh, God of War. That is easily one of the most iconic pieces of a soundtrack ever. When that kicks in and you're playing, it's like, God of War. You feel like you need to take your top off, you know, get some nail varnish and paint a stripe up your body and murder your entire family in a Kratos kind of way. Or maybe not. But it's still pretty pumping. It's such a good tune. And it's got a good soundtrack. These games have always had good soundtracks, and this one is no different. A lot of people have complained about Kratos being a bit more reserved because he's not super angry, which is hilarious because all the other time the criticisms that got laid on him was he's too angry. So who the hell can you please, man? Unbelievable, some people. But yeah, short game. And the multiplayer. So I should probably talk a little bit about the multiplayer before we see this boss. I have not played competitive multiplayer, and I don't know if I will, mainly because I did the training for it, where it shows you all the moves, and immediately I can tell you right now I'm not going to like it. Reason I'm not going to like it is because button mashing's going to work. It's sad, but it's true. They've stripped the combat down so much, it's extremely basic, and I'm hoping when you unlock more levels it gets more complicated, but as it stands, you just feel like a gimped Kratos, and I hate that. So this is me trying to skip this cutscene. I'm extremely impatient like that. Where did this guy come from? When you're driving one of the snakes earlier on, you do see him on a cliffside, but how the hell did he get up here without us seeing him? And what's the point? Because all he does is get killed by this. He's the red jersey guy in Star Trek. He's completely pointless. But this is the boss, anyhow. It's another easy boss, but it's one of those bosses that sometimes, you know, you can get beat up through faults that mostly are yourself, but every so often it does feel a bit cheap. So the first part is going to spam fire at you. So you want to be as evasive as possible, and he's going to land after he finishes spamming fire. When he lands, you want to get close to him and beat him up. As long as you evade in a circular fashion, you should avoid all the fire, because he leaves an area of denial, so you can't go back the way you came. So just make sure that you're circulating the area so that you don't trap yourself. It doesn't really matter if you get hit by the fire, because it doesn't do too much damage. The damage is jacked on this game, it really is. For Titan difficulty, nothing damages you. But there's an item, an interesting item, that enables you to do some special things, which I'm going to talk about after this. So right now, he's spamming the tail attack, and I'm expecting him to do the breath. When he does the breath, I'm going to move, but I don't know if he does it in this phase. There is the wings. You'll notice you can block it all. You're very safe. I should have really committed to the extra hit on the square combo to try and stun him to see if I could get him looped, but I wasn't willing to do it apparently on this recording. But I also have the shield, which I could throw at him, and it might completely skip a phase. I didn't test it, so here we go. Oh, he managed to get the wings off. He just did it then. When he taunts, when he roars at you, that's when you can definitely hit him with the full combo. There's the full combo. Can we get it again? Yeah. Oh, he still attacked. We still got him. It didn't work. Sometimes when he roars, he'll do it after you do the attack, and you can get him into this succession of full attack, taunt, full attack, taunt, and you keep stunning him back to doing the roar, but as you saw then, it didn't work. So if it doesn't work for you, you know, don't be disheartened, but there's a lot of luck on some of these bosses when it comes to how they respond, and if you get really lucky, he won't even try and stab you or anything. You can just keep slapping him. But once you chop the wing off, there's no checkpoint, so this phase is a little bit more tricky because he does a fast wing attack, and he also does a quick tail attack. And I've got magic, so I thought, why not just start using some magic to try and speed this up. There's a taunt just then, and I'm just going to do combos until it goes to hit me, and then I'm going to do magic. So you'll notice as soon as he goes to swing his tail, oh no, I blocked that time and did a parry. And that is the end of the fight, so just grab him and you've done. You do have to kill the flying things afterwards. I would recommend, if you have any more magic, use magic, because I take a lot of damage off these flying things when I'm trying to grab them, which is the bane of this game. You know, every so often the grab spam just fails, and it never used to. Not for me anyway. And I don't know why they changed it. The normal grab was so... Like, these birds, Kratos would have grabbed them, put his foot on them and ripped the wings off. There would have been none of this nonsense of slamming them into the ground. He'd have just been like, no, see you later, good night. There's the first one. So let's see if we can watch for when I get tagged, because I got tagged earlier. That's fine. Oh, that was interesting. He hit me just as I came out of the grab. That's pretty merciless timing. But do not worry about taking damage or using magic. The very next doorway is going to give you 2 chests to refill both of them. So, you know, even though I've been stingy on my use of magic so far, you do not have to be. It's all personal preference. The magic on this game is ridiculously overpowered. It's so useful as well. Against the sirens, it's a lifesaver, because the sirens are just so terrible. And I don't know a good way to fight them. I really don't. On their own, they're fine. When there's two of them, it's just a completely different fight. And I'm looking forward to, you know, just sussing a surefire way of launching them, or staggering them, or stun locking them. I don't know. There's got to be a way to deal with them, because as it stands, all they do is spam magic, lightning. Just so bad. But luckily enough, I think you only fight them 3 or 4 times. It's not many. As I've already said, this game is significantly easier than the previous ones. But the multiplayer, I did some of the training where it shows you how it works. I think the systems in play are interesting. They have this color-coded scheme that shows you when people are vulnerable, when people are recovering, and when people are in iframes. There's a lot of depth, but the control scheme is different to the game, and immediately you're fighting over the controls because you don't know them. You're so used to doing God of War moves, and these moves are different. You also don't start with the chains, you start with the sword, and the sword it's just not as fun. It's not as fun at all. And there seems to be quite a detailed leveling system with equipment and various other additions. There's also kind of a co-op mode, which I'm probably going to try a lot more than the multiplayer, because the multiplayer at this point just doesn't sound interesting at all. I'm just not a big multiplayer guy. Your multiplayer has to be either stupid or great for me to be into it, and this just kind of looks like the bad kind of stupid. It looks like a mess. I might change my opinion when I play it, who knows. I am going to try it, I just don't see good things. But the co-op mode seems kind of cool. You know, get a friend in, do some of the missions and whatnot, running around as this new character, build him up, level him up, unlock some of the gear, perhaps stand a better chance online. Not too sure how it works, but as it stands, the multiplayer seems extremely competent, but this is God of War. I don't play it for multiplayer. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.